Okay, this is a video response to the Gorgeous Geeks video regarding what they want to happen or what they would like to see for Smallville season 10, and it touched on some very interesting issues, as it were. Number one being, well, actually two of the biggest ones being bringing back Lex Luthor and also Clark learning to fly. I would agree on both points. It would actually be fitting for Smallville to actually have Lex Luthor come back at some point, even if it is just at the last episode, the final episode, to signify that, you know, we've already seen one particular scene where after Lionel Luthor died and Lex was the only one at his funeral, but Clark showed up. And you saw that moment where they both looked at each other, and, you know, as if to say, you're in my crosshair, I'm in your crosshair now, this is where we're going to become arch enemies. And that was the pivotal moment, as far as I was concerned, for the pair of them to become sworn arch enemies. So to have Lex, because I also believe that he's not dead, there's no way that he can be dead. So I do have a feeling that if he does come back, bring him back for the last episode, just to signify that intent, to say to Clark, or even Superman by the time he reaches that stage, that, you know, it's for Clark to say to Lex, doesn't matter what you do, I'm always going to be there to stop you. Simple as. Then obviously to have Clark wear the costume and fly, again, we all want to see that. Everyone wants to see it. I mean, I know that when Smallville was first created, Alfred Gough and Miles Miller, who were the original developers for Smallville, had said it was going to be no tights, no flights rule. Basically, he's not going to fly. End of. Then they left, I think, after season 6 or 7, and since then the show has just taken off in a massive way. So there's a chance I would love to see Clark fly. Definitely love to see him fly. Would definitely like to see Tom Welling in the costume as well. And just, you know, as I say, even if it's for a couple of minutes, again, towards the end of season 10, even if it's just for a couple of minutes, just sort of like see him fly out of the Fortress of Solitude or something, like in Superman the movie, you know, when he leaves Smallville, goes to the fortress, to the North Pole to get the fortress built, and then he spends 12 years. Now in the film he spends 12 years training and learning all about the universe and where he was from and everything, and as he grew older, that's when he was then able to fly. And you know, that shot of him flying out of the fortress, anything along those lines would be immense. That's all I can say. It would just be immense. The Gorgeous Geeks did also touch up on the whole Klarna story thing. If I'm going to be totally honest, I don't really want Lana to come back, if I'm going to be brutally honest, because she always got in the way of Clark's, like, what he was destined to do and everything. Fair enough, yes, she did the video after she came back from her catatonic state that Brainiac put her in, and did the video and basically said, look, I need you but the world needs you more, sort of thing. But we all know that at the end of the day, in the Superman mythology, it's Lois and Clark. Simple as, no ifs and buts about it. Interestingly enough, there is actually one comic book that features Lana along, and then Superman as well, whereby Lana actually works for Lex, but not only does she work for him, but she's pretty much like the second in command at LexCorp. And it's interesting. If you the title of that book is The Search for Kryptonite. It's a Superman Batman compilation. So if you're interested in that, I would suggest, if you really want to know how far or how bad Lana feels regarding her not being with Clark, you should read that, because it is very interesting. It kind of reflects, you know, from Smallville in some ways as well. And for me, when I was reading it, I thought to myself, you know, because he actually does mention, Superman does actually say, look, I know that you're not happy about the situation that I'm with Lois, that it could have been me and you kind of thing. So in some sense, yes, for Lana to come back to then see that Clark is happy with Lois, but then again, what are the chances are that she could come between Lois and Clark? You see what I mean? I don't think it would be a good idea to have Lana come back. So yeah, Lana out the picture. That's it, done and dusted. If she is destined for great things, then great, fantastic. That's up to her. I think there are some comics that do actually state that Lana does have superpowers anyway. Haven't really read any of those, but I think a few people have, so they'll know more about that than I will. What else do we have? Right, they also the Gorgeous Geeks also mentioned Chloe. I love Chloe. I think she's probably one of the most. I think she is one of my favourite characters throughout Smallville. She was never obviously in any of the Superman mythologies to begin with anyway. Alfred Gotham excuse me, and Miles Miller drafted her in as a way of, I mean, when I'll be honest with you, when Chloe first appeared, I thought she was going to be the replacement for Lois. I thought maybe we were never going to see Lois Lane in Smallville or at any point in the show. But when we find out that Lois and Chloe are cousins, well, it got that's when it really got interesting. So I thought to myself, well, if Chloe ends up at the Daily Planet with Clark, where's Lois going to fit into the picture? And I thought to myself, I'm sure I've never heard of a character called Chloe Sullivan before in any Superman films, but then they mentioned that she's the cousin of Lois, and I thought, right, well, that makes sense then. So, but for me, I want Chloe to remain in Smallville for as long as possible. Yes, she's acting as Watchtower. I don't think she's going to be seen as the Oracle. For those of you who read like Batman comics will know who the Oracle actually is. It's Barbara Gordon, aka the daughter of Jim Gordon, the commissioner of Gotham Police Department, who was once Batgirl, but had a fatal accident, and she was paralysed from the waist down, basically. So she's been confined to a wheelchair, but pretty much she deals with computers and internet. She you know, anything you want to know about the whereabouts of a superhero, she will tell you. So yeah, in some sense, Chloe is seen as Oracle, but she has not been touted as the Oracle. She's just working as the Watchtower. No doubt eventually as Smallville goes on, and I'm sure if we do go to a season 10, then we might even see Watchtower being out in the space like we're doing all the Justice League cartoons, which then brings me on to the other big topic that they mentioned, that the Gorgeous Geeks mentioned, Bruce Wayne. I think Bruce Wayne does need to appear. It doesn't have to be Batman, it just has to be Bruce Wayne. Just have him, I mean, he'll be roughly the same age as Clark, maybe a year or two older perhaps. Just have Clark wander through Gotham, for example, on patrol or something, him and Green Arrow, and then they just see this, you know, billionaire playboy, and then, you know, he introduces himself and just says, my name's Bruce. Something like that, anything like that, I'll be happy with. You know, just even if he's just there for 30 seconds, just to say, my name's Bruce, that's it. Fine, I'm okay with that. That will be it for me. That's all. So yeah, I would like to see Bruce Wayne. He has to appear. They can't not have Bruce Wayne. And also Wonder Woman as well needs to appear. Not as Wonder Woman, as Diana, you know, because she is an ambassador of some sort of women's institution or something like that. So even if she just appears as Diana, fine with me again. They don't have to appear as their alter egos, you know. Just be as Bruce Wayne and Diana Prince, and that's it. Fine. You know, anything like that I'll be happy with. So, as I say, that's my feeling on it, and I do agree with some of the things that the Gorgeous Geek says. So just to clarify, Clark needs to fly towards the end of season 10. Lex Luthor does need to appear again. Lana shouldn't appear. Chloe needs to stay. Bruce and Wonder Woman, end of. So that's it from me. Thank you.